Whole heap of prayer, man. A lot of prayer. So don't you ever feel like anything that is happening for me is by chance. And I say this to say to you that Tuesday night or Wednesday morning was horrible, but it could have been worse. And it's not by chance that it wasn't worse. Prayer. Years and years of prayer over my life, I tell you. I can't tell you otherwise, you know, man.
Welcome to Crime Time News and Entertainment with a Buzz. The video that you saw at the start of this is of artist Christopher Martin. Unless you've been living under a rock, you would not know that a day or so ago, his grandmother there was awake for her. This is the funeral in which he is in tears. At that wake, in the early morning, it is said that confirmed at least 8 people get caught up. 1 person lost their life. The motive behind it, some sorts of gang war over proceeds of lottery scamming. So you hear this man that is supposed to go to his grandmother's wake, send her off, rest in peace. However, it is nothing but chaos, nothing but craziness. And people, it seems as if this is the Jamaica that we should become used to, because these youths nowadays, these criminal elements, have no respect for the living, and even worse, no respect for the DEAD. So here's this man. His grandmother took care of him. His grandmother is a decent person, a staple of the society. However, not even her could go out respectfully. These youths have zero respect. So that is why when we see the po take them out, we should not show any sort of sympathy party. So they live it, so they die it. Not proper English, but you get the point. Point blank and period. Now the next thing that is popping in the news and continuing on the theme of these youths, these criminal elements have no sorts of respect for the living nor the DEAD. Neither do they have any sorts of respect for the po nor the JCF. A recent incident along the intersection of Charles Street and Chestnut Lane that is in Kingston 14. The picture that you see on the screen, this is Private Domville from the JDF. Based on information, it is said that the military team was on some sorts of foot patrol when them buck up on a group of men. The group of men were acting suspicious, acting bummy. It is said that the JDF soldiers tried to pursue these men wheel and pop off, blaze up some can after the JDF officers. After the smoke cleared, this officer, Mr. Domville, he was found clutching to his life. Apparently, wounds to the head, apparently from some sorts of rifle. He was rushed to the closest hospital, however, he did not make it. Again, people, like me tell you, these youth have no sorts of problem with the regular civilians, and even worse, no sorts of problem taking on the JCF nor the JDF. However, when the people go back for them retaliation, some sorts of warrant of DEATH, you're always going to hear the family members say, he's a good youth, him never do nothing. This was some sorts of extrajudicial KILLING. People, in times like these, desperate times, we cannot afford to be keeping any sorts of sympathy party. Point blank and period. Now, people, like I said, desperate times calls for desperate measures. And we see that these criminal elements in our society, they are getting out of hand. 2 very despicable acts, one as it pertains to Christopher Martin's grandmother's wake, and next one as it pertains to Cherry Tree Lane. In both places, mass pie up in a Cherry Tree Lane, at least 8 people lose them life one time. And we see that the JCF said that they had 3 suspects. Out of those 3 suspects, 1 was taken out, 1 turning himself, and 1 was held. He is now in the custody of the Popo. However, out of 2 of those 3, persons are saying that 1 of them was taken out unjustly. I am speaking about Steve Smith, that is known as Ticker, also Flybrain. Femme family member, our mother specifically said that he was taken out of her arms, taken around the corner, and then put some sorts of corner head. Extrajudicial, them call it. So then we see that Indicom came out, and Indicom is saying the reports by the Popo is inconsistent with the evidence that were taken at many of these crime scenes. So pretty much the statements by the Popo and the statements by the family are resident. They are polar opposite. That means that somebody a lie. Indicom is saying that they are very concerned with the excessive Popo takeaway, at least 100 and something thus far in the year, and the year don't even close to finish yet. So I want you to take a listen, take a look to what the National Security Minister has to say, and then I'll give my piece.
All of this year, every single police shooting police was visibly involved in combat. You know, when the classic recollection with the Nigville station, those men were not men you offer the usual, the TV show, drop your guns, the police is here. Let us talk. I will give you a lot. They are not waiting for that. They're heavily armed, and that is true of most of our criminals that the police have been attacking. And I cannot ask the police to expose themselves to injury. Whether a policeman shot in St. Catherine in his face, is just one of those injuries that you see it was fortunate way it went. He was shot in his face in combat. That man, 2 people were killed in that. To classify it the same way you complete a kind of collateral shooting by police is, I think, a little bit out of line in terms of how you present the data. But the international communities tend to do that. The human rights people tend to do that. They get some morbid benefit from it, I presume, but it is incorrect. You should realize they are all being conducted in clear combat situation with men who are determined to kill, have killed, would kill again, and was willing to kill the police. Such individuals have to be dealt with in combat, and we train our policemen well. We prepare them, we give them the body armor and the helmets to protect them, because my first responsibility is to protect the officer involved and to protect the wider society, to allow the officer to work safely. At some point, we have to begin to look at how we classify, you said. We have near 2,000 plus shootings per annum. We have consistently for nearly 23 years have over 1,000 murders. The perpetrators, when identified the police and apprehended, will shoot.
Now, people, like I've always said, we're living in desperate times, and desperate times calls for desperate measures. And yes, everybody wants Jamaica to be better. Everybody wants to rid Jamaica of these crime monsters and these criminals. So therefore, whenever some sorts of despicable act, such as Cherry Tree Lane, occurs, people want to get rid of the suspect or the persons of interest. However, there are too many Christian signs and people. I am not saying that any of these individuals that were taken out by the Popo are not criminals. But me just say, too many question signs, too many times, too often, consecutively, constantly. So therefore, it's supposed to be reasons for concern. When we listen to the security minister and most Popo, we realize that these are system people. What this means, system people have an agenda. System people will back their officers whether they are right or wrong. They are wrong and strong. Because when you hear a security minister or a national security minister or not national justice minister saying that there is no sorts of concern, of course there are concerns. People make mistake. Not every officer execute their duty in a very professional way. So therefore, when you're coming out and flat out denying that there's no sorts of concern, that means that you too, you are in denial. So I say this to say that you have to treat every incident on a case-by-case basis. Make sure that the Popo go in there, wear these body cams, one of the 400 that they have so far, waiting for more. We cannot be getting any sort of report that is conflicting. It has to be consistent. Maybe the details might differ a little bit. But when the mother or the family members or the residents are say, you grab the person out of the clutches of his arm, of his mother's arm, and then take him round the corner, and then our next poor say, what if we do with him, and the next one respond, take him out. People, that is not consistent with the truths. And again, like I said, a lot of these youths, they are criminal. A lot of these youths have all sorts of history out on condition of bail for some sorts of pie up. So therefore, because of their criminal past, it pretty much came back and haunt them. It is called karma. However, at the end of the day, like I said, the poor are supposed to be professional. If you go for people and then they challenge you in some sorts of pie out, yes, you have the right to defend yourself. But whenever you catch some people and they are sleeping in a them bed, the right thing to do is take them in. Even though I know that most Jamaicans would not agree with that because we want justice swift. The people definitely want court to be held right away, meaning the poor be the judge, the jury, and most importantly, the executioner of that warrant fatally arrested. But it does not always make it right. Some people, like I've always said, there are always three sides to every story. The poor side, the suspect side, the person of interest side, and then the truth that is supposed to be determined by Indicom. In the Cherry Tree incident, 3 suspects were named. The first 3 suspects that were named, we saw that they named a couple of other suspects. At least 10 persons taken into custody. But the initial 3, Steve Smith, Tika, Flybrain, controversial, mother's story differs polarly from the poor side of the story. One person turning himself. An ex-individual known as Leighton White. He was one of the 3 that the poor went for. The poor claimed that he was one of those persons that was at Cherry Tree Lane. However, the family, the mother, the sister, the uncle have a polar opposite of the situation, saying that he has a airtight alibi because he was home with his girlfriend and his 2 children. Take a listen, take a look to exactly what they have to say, and then I'll give my piece.
Him and there, and him report, and every morning him go and him report. My brother have a 6 o'clock curfew, and he never make 5 o'clock get him on the road. My brother in a house with his girlfriend and him 2-step pitney the night of the incident. So all them fears they see him down there.
What evidence do you have that Leighton White was down to your churchy people who don't know his foot? Who don't know his foot? So, you don't have to see foot. What evidence do you not have? You don't have no evidence.
We got a call from the lawyer saying that they're taking my brother to Africa for charge him for the shooting of the church. He said people from the church will identify him, and the people in from the church know say I know him. And when them say an innocent man go to prison, then if a killer out there for go back and do more damage.
Now people, here is my disclaimer. I was not there. But I have to say this, in a lot of cases, we see that the most evilest amongst us, whenever the poor go for them, the residents are always saying that is an innocent youth. Him never have any sorts of tool. Him dep on the ground a ball a beg for him life when the poor come for him. However, them decide to put one in him head. Same way. So I cannot swear for this family like you hear. The Justice Minister, Dr. Horace Chang, him have one side of the story, and then the family of Leighton White, they have a polar side of the story. But here's the thing. Sometimes there's a thing that is called karma. Sometimes you always hear me say, don't start no ish, won't be no ish. They claim that he was home with his wife or girlfriend and him kids. However, we have no evidence to substantiate that. That is just what the family members are saying. Maybe that is what he told them. Don't see any sorts of video evidence. So therefore, I can't swear for him because I don't know him. And based on the recent history, We should not be surprised if that is not so. Most importantly, this man was out on condition of bail. Don't know what he was out for. Don't know if it is some sort of pie, if it is some sort of murder. So therefore, his criminal record is not clean like Jesus' poor record, like them say. So like I say, he might have done something before. His name might have been calling up before. So I say this to say that when the poor hear that a man that is out there of a criminal background, criminal past, maybe a menace to society. Once the poor hear him name and them know say 8 people lose them life and 9 other people, 17, 18 people together. Naturally, they are going to want to go where this man is. Naturally, they are going to want to investigate. Naturally, they are going to think. This man they out there in all sorts of mix up and passa. So therefore, he might have something to do with it. Like them say, the little youth always a cry, wolf, wolf, wolf. Even if the wolf not dead, the poor go act like, yes, he was a part of it because he has some sorts of history. And people, I am not saying that that is right. I am saying they are supposed to treat every case individually, case by case basis. That means that if he never did it, him name not supposed to call up. He was not supposed to be taken out or locked up because he had nothing to do with it. However, your past karma can always come back and haunt you. Luckily, they did not take him out for this family. But me just as say, don't start no ish, won't be no ish. So people, like I said, there are 3 sides to every story. You heard your National Security Minister, Dr. Horace Chang, and you heard from a family member, one of the 3 implicated in the Cherry Tree Lane incident in which so many persons got caught up. So many persons lost their life. I am going to let you listen to a story of a youth known as Ricardo Washington. He is said to be a person of interest in some sorts of pie up. I think that he was also reporting on condition of bail. However, the poor military team, I am assuming JCF, JDF, Soldier and Poor went to look for him. They said that when they went on the premises early in the morning like they always do, they were greeted by a round of pie. You know the script, them return fire, wheel and pop off. After that, people DEAD. I am going to let you hear the family member what she has to say as it pertains to this youth. Him is a good youth, him not do nobody nothing, him work hard and him come home and him take care of him kids. He has no sorts of nothing. Take a listen, take a look, and then I'll give my piece.
He need put him on kill him if you knock up man door and man surrender to no jail. What happened to the jail? Hear him go lock up, process him. He have no mother. I see him with the next brother then he don't say no I saw he called dead. Me no real so they kill he don't say youth. You know see it I mean nobody ma go say they find something over there because of where they travel with. So Andrew, we really want justice because we tired of this now. They might take too much disadvantage of Jack, but they tired of it now. He work over the hospital them. Over me in the hospital, he work with the HIV people them. In our lobby work. When in the far road, he say, he test people and see me say better on the nose out of sick. I can't take on the treatment. More and sick I don't say, we do not know. Me come in the free condone. Into everybody around here so we have nothing bad to say about the little youth today in the house.
Now, people, this is my disclaimer again. I was not there. I am just giving you both sides of the story. What the Justice Minister is saying to say that the poor, most of what you're hearing, most of the concern that Indicom has, most of what you see out there on social media, it is not correct. It is making the poor look bad. The poor are just executing their job. Executing is the operative word. In this case, you hear what the lady say. If him do something wrong, take him in. Want him to the jail. Want him to the mercy. But people, again, and I am not saying that this youth is innocent nor guilty. A lot of times when these people go for people, them not think about what happened to him life, what happened to him family, what happened to him kids, what happened to him friends. How are they going to feel? So therefore, they execute their DEATH in a very BRUTAL manner. So therefore, when the popo go for people like these, especially when they are known menaces to society, especially if they are out on condition of bail for a like crime, that means that them get chance before, and people know say chance pan balloon, you go get BUST. So therefore, this warrant was already EXECUTED, signed and sealed. So therefore, when them go for you and people like me say, do not put yourself in a very bad predicament. It could come back and haunt you. It is not just what you did. Rightfully, the justice says, if them catch you and you're not in any sort of way endangering the lives of the popo officer, they are supposed to take you in. But people like I've told you, the agenda, the protocol has changed drastically. So therefore, if you don't want to get caught in this dragnet, this web, then I am telling you, do not get involved in any sorts of criminal activity. You hear the family member say, the same thing happened to him, brother. So people, what are the odds? It seems as if this whole family is mixed up, or this whole family is just solved. Don't know which one it is. Like me say, people, me just give you both sides of the story. There is something into something. Wherever there is smoke, there is fire. So the fact is that a lot of these persons are no choir boys. They are no sorts of saints. Them are criminal. Them have a criminal past. Maybe at the time when the popo come for them, they were not doing anything. They were not caught in the acts. But people, that warrant has been signed and sealed. They are going to be fatally arrested for the most part. Am I saying that it is right? No, I am not. I am saying don't put yourself in any sorts of predicament, like I've always said. Don't start no ish, won't be no ish. Point blank and period. So anyways, people, thanks once again for checking out my video. If you appreciate videos like these, please show your appreciation by liking, commenting, sharing and subscribing to my channel. That is how YouTube promotes videos like these to like-minded, sensible persons like yourself. And last but not least, please subscribe to my next channel. It is called Jamaica Dancehall Source. I'll be pinning the link to that channel in the description of this video. Bless up.